All right, this is a little video to show off some work by Shannon Coberly with Coberly Guitars, formerly Trimmed and Burning. Both these were actually made when he was making under the name Trimmed and Burnin amps and guitars. This amp, Slowbird amp, and the Strat guitar. A little backstory first about this. I'm a big Glenn Kaiser fan. For those of you somehow not aware of Glenn, he's an outstanding guitarist and vocalist. I was about 7 or 8 years old when I saw Res Band in concert. It would have been their DMZ tour, so I followed him for a very long time. About 2002, he came out with the Ripley County Blues recording, one of my favorites, and I can tell that the amp sound was a little different on this album. It's always been good, but this was a different kind of good, and it was my kind of good, really, and especially like some songs like The Mystery. It's a great driving, screaming guitar sound that he has on that. And so I remember looking through a little CD book back when CDs came with booklets, back when we had CDs, and it mentioned that he was using amps by Trimmed and Burnin amps. So I had to look this up because I wasn't familiar with Trimmed and Burnin. So I got Shannon's contact info, gave him a call. He told me about the amp that he made for Glenn, and it's a 15 watt amp, as I recall, based on a 57 Deluxe. It has just tone and volume control is really all it has. 15-inch Weber and flame maple soundboard and cabinet. It's a monster of an amp. For a 15 watt amp, it's not really a practice room amp. It works very well on big stages. And he said he makes each one a little different dimensionally and so on. So I just asked him, can you make mine red? And so I was playing in Phoenix with that. And then shortly thereafter, early 2003, I believe this was, he gave me a call that he was starting to make guitars. And he sent me an email with some pictures of a Strat guitar that he was making. I was really impressed. And so I asked him, hey, can you make it red? Not that red's my favorite color, but I might as well have a match, because I mean, how often can you find a single man that can make an outstanding amp and an outstanding guitar? So it's kind of a cool little duo. So making this to kind of show what they sound like together. Again, this amp sounds great with any guitar. I've even done nylon string for jazz combos and stuff, and it responds very well to the personalities of whatever guitar you're using. So the guitar I was using before I ordered this one, the most to it was a 50th anniversary Jeff Beck Stratocaster, and it had Lace-Sensor gold pickups in it. So I kind of wanted to keep a good thing going with that, and so that's why I asked Shannon to use Lace-Sensor gold pickups. There's 3 humbuckers. They're each coil tapped, so we'll get the single coil as well. And it shows that there's so much more than the pickups that make a guitar. Certainly says, because the difference between these two guitars with the same pickups is phenomenal. The Jeff Beck Strat is a classic Fender kind of surf guitar sound, swamp ash body, so it's really bright. This has a flame maple top. Remember, quick at the back is mahogany, so it's a very dark sound, a lot of depth to it. Very robust, a lot of sustain. I keep 11 gauge on it right now, but I've had flat wounds on it and used it for jazz combos because it has that body sound that works good for those kind of genres. So I'll play a few things here so you can kind of see what they sound like together. One other little bit of trivia: this, I believe, was the first guitar he made that had the Trimmed and Burnin logo on the headstock. So I was really happy when he came out with that. So first I'm going to that's clean. I'm just going to add a little reverb. This is the Talisman reverb in the single coil bridge pickup position. Single coil neck pickup. That's right. I'm going to dirty it up a little. Actually, before I do, one thing I frequently do when I play, especially if I'm not going for ultra clean, put a patch cable. So right now I'm in the channel 1 of the bright, so the patch cable is going to plug into the normal channel 1 and the bright channel 2. This just puts a little stress on the amp. You'll hear it. It's a little louder. It's just a little more response. You can tell the amp's working a little harder because I'm tricking it a little bit. It works great with a lot of the old Fender amps and even some of the Marshalls that had that kind of a multi-input setup. So I'm just gonna add what I'm adding is the OCD pedal, OCD GE model, a version of it for a little bit of a drive. The drive is only set in the 12 o'clock position, so it's not like a heavy distortion, but it pushes the amp. And this is where you get a really good overdrive. Now I'm in the bridge position. That works really for a variety of functions. One other thing that I asked him to do on this is install kind of what they call frequently called the Gilmore switch. David Gilmore with Pink Floyd apparently did this a lot with his Strat. So this switch here will alter the 5-way switch. The way he did it was so that I can basically run all 3 pickups together, or just the bridge and neck, which the latter I like to do a lot. I may do it on this last thing I'll play for you. So I can doodle away, but it really works best to hear how this sounds with in a sort of a band playing situation. So I'm going to just play a little track and jam to it. All I'm adding is a Tube Screamer now. It's the Tube Screamer TS9. The drive is only in the 11 o'clock position, so this gives it works very well in concert with this guitar and making it. I mentioned the sustain and depth that it has. It works well for that. So Alexa, resume music. That's some of the work of Shannon's. He's not making amps, I guess, anymore, but I'm lucky enough to have one. Maybe you can still find one, or sweet talk him, I don't know. But he's definitely making a lot more guitars than he was back when he was just doing the Strat, so check out his stuff. Thanks.